everyone. Thanks for coming back to listen to us. Go on, laugh, wind, and perspire. I'm going to hand over right away to Kaz, who is just finishing off eating a banana. Kaz, what are we talking about this week?
This week, I've decided, it's all actually, I didn't decide, that's a total lie, that we're going to talk about nostalgia. I like being nostalgic.
I think a lot of us do like being nostalgic. Music makes me very nostalgic.
Music can be such a revelation. Dancing around, you feel a sweet sensation.
Oh, mate, that is a tune.
I mean, come on.
Are you more nostalgic about 70s or 80s?
I think, well, I was born in 67. I know I don't like it. So the 70s, I mean, we're talking music here. My mum was a massive, as you know, Neens, I've told you, Motown soul. So the music genre was like when I was younger, was 70s. And then obviously my teenage years. So that's a really good look, Neens. You look like you haven't got any 80s. 80s.
Yep.
Both 70s and 80s, Neens. I can't. What about
I've
you?
been asked that question before and I can't answer it. I find that I'm more nostalgic about 70s when I think about my mum and dad.
Yeah.
But when I think about my good times and partying, a bit more, and
80s.
it's 80s, definitely 80s. So just something that triggered my memory then when I had that nice face was my collection of rubbers.
Rubbers.
I collected rubbers like you wouldn't believe.
The smell. I can smell.
Mate, do you remember them? They used to have the little. So I remember. Well, I had loads, but yes, there were the ones that came in like a plastic tube, and you'd take the top off, and then, yeah, I never
even
used.
just the normal rubbers, the rubbery rubbers, because they used to be like plasticky kind of rubbers, and then there were rubbery rubbers. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but then you also used to get the one for big mistakes. Do you remember that one?
The big ones, man.
Do you remember? But do you remember it used to have 4 big mistakes written on it?
Yeah, massive one.
Yes.
Yeah, huge.
Yeah, but I mean, I probably had in the region of about, blimey, easily 800.
Where did they all go?
Mate, they're still upstairs in my loft.
You are joking me.
No, still
Do you
upstairs.
think they would have disintegrated?
Some have. That one.
Oh my God, for big mistakes.
Yeah.
14, was that 14.99 names?
No, 2.99, babe. You took your glasses off. But no, 2.99 for a big mistakes, if anyone remembers that. Yeah, I've got them all upstairs, and I got them from my ex's loft when I went down to Minehead, probably a couple of years ago, and I showed them on rants, and people were like, oh my God, I remember that one.
Do you think rubbers are obsolete now? Because how often do we write in pencil
you still get them
and rub it out?
I mean, you tend to get them. I did have a pencil here earlier with, one of those little clicky ones, and it's got the rubber
at the end.
Yeah.
Because I put something on Insta the other day because I'm doing my Planuary check-in with my girls, my Dance Your Tits Off girls, every Monday. And I said, well, bring a pen and paper along and a cuppa, and we'll have a little chat, things you want to do and stuff. And somebody said, who still has a pen and paper? I'm like, well, I have a pen and paper. I'm like, is that really old, having a pen and paper?
DB asked me this morning for a pen and a paper. Pen and paper. She was like, I need pen and paper. Can't work without it. Yeah, but I do get that. It's nice to be able to see it.
It is nice to be able to see it, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
So childhood nostalgia. Okay, so school bags. I used to write all over my school bag. Pencil case.
Well, I used to write all over my PE school bag, not necessarily over my satchel.
Did you write over your PE school bag, I don't want to do PE?
Yeah, and probably something like, sorry, forgot my PE kit again.
Did you write things on there like, I love, like on your books, like, I love Duran Duran?
Yeah, or I love the person that I loved that week in school.
Well,
And
my mate Trevor Donahue, Trev, if you're watching this, still, he's lovely. He was besotted with me at school, and he used to write on my school books, I love Trevor. He'd Tipex on my little mirror, I love Trevor.
Tipex.
Tipex.
Oh, whatever happened to Tipex? And I used to paint my nails with Tipex.
Yes.
And then everyone at school, like the really cool kids, would get Tipex thinner and get high on it in the back of the class.
Oh my God, it was the best.
Just nuts, isn't it?
Love
Tipex.
it.
I mean, blackboards. Do they even have blackboards anymore?
I think they have PowerPoint presentations.
That is mad, isn't it? We used to get bits
I
of.
think whiteboard's probably more nowadays, I would say, but I think you can still rub it off.
I mean, that is it. We have gone from one extreme to the other, blackboard to whiteboard.
Well, yeah.
No, but I mean, what happened to a pink board or a green board? As in, I mean, that is the complete opposite, isn't it? Like, why did we go from a blackboard writing with white chalk to a whiteboard writing in a black pen?
Or a red pen or a green pen, because you can see it better. So you wouldn't
Which
have a
brings
pink.
me nicely onto just sorry, where you said a red pen or a green pen. I'm looking at Simon Says. Do you remember Simon Says?
Not the one where it had all the different colours at the top.
4 different colours in a circle, and
Yeah.
you had to remember the sequence.
No.
You don't remember Simon Says?
So it had a blue, the bottom bit was blue, and then you had red, green, black, and blue on the top where you pushed it down whatever colour you wanted. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, but you had to remember the sequence of it, didn't you?
No, I didn't.
Have I got the wrong bit?
Maybe I've got the wrong. No, didn't know that one, Neens.
Oh,
Mine was more, you know, the one
much older than me, though.
Well, what's our age difference? 5 years?
71, I was born. 4 years.
4 years, yeah, 4 years.
Yeah. What about just while we're on the subject of toys, I always wanted, do you remember the Cadbury's Dairy Milk dispenser that you could get? And it used to get little tiny chocolates.
Yeah.
And you'd put in a penny and a chocolate would come out.
Yeah, so you'd like a money box and then you get chocolate in, yeah.
Always wanted that. Always wanted it, but my parents would never buy it because they said you get about 20 chocolates and then it's done.
But then you get 20p, so you could have bought some more to put in.
I don't know if they sold them individually.
Ah, so your parents were right. I used to love, talking of that, means those things that you put those little sweets in and the heads come back and they're little, I still like them now. Not Zippo. No, was it Zippo?
Oh,
Pez. Loved a Pez.
Do you like the sweets?
Yeah, I still like them now.
No. See, you're not a proper like sweet foodie person, are you? You can't be if you like those things. I'm not being funny. They're smaller than my little nail, and that's tiny.
Yeah, but I would eat the whole thing. I wouldn't just eat one. I'd eat them
well,
all in.
Well done, Paz. Well done. I'd eat 9 Mars bars at the age of 7. Have a stern word with yourself.
Yeah, but they were like
a whole pack of pears.
Yeah, but that would be my dinner money. Used to go on 3 packets of crisps and chocolate every day when I was at school.
I'm impressed. Talking of dinner money, I always used to get a wham bar. DB's just got me a wham bar. I have a wham bar in my kitchen, which I am going to have. I was going to say breakfast, but that's even sickly for me. Might have lunch and then have it after.
Yeah, with a cup of tea.
Yeah. I like a biscuit with a cup of tea. Garibaldi's, that takes you back.
I love a Garibaldi.
Do you still get Garibaldi's now? As in, would you buy them?
Not a Garibaldi, a Garibaldi.
Yeah, I've never been good at saying bold. Is that bold?
Bald.
Bold.
Garibaldi.
Garibaldi.
Baldi. I loved a Garibaldi.
Yeah, you
Garibaldi.
loved. You can still get them now, but you don't buy them, right?
No, because if I bought a packet of Garibaldi's, I'd eat the whole lot.
And your point is?
Did you like fig rolls?
Do you know what? No, but yes. And this is where I say to people, I don't like it, but I'll eat it. I think this came from the biscuit tin actually in the 70s because the fig rolls would always be left because they were the ones that were my mum's favourite and she'd only have one a week. So I'd actually stomach a fig roll because it was in there.
Yeah, it was the only thing. Did you have, my nan had a biscuit tin, which was an empty tin of roses, hello, with biscuits in
And
it.
a metal tin, not plastic.
Always metal, not plastic. It was either a sewing box, wasn't it, Neens, or had biscuits in it.
Yes. And it's so funny, like you go out to your dad's garage or your dad's shed, because it was your dad's back then, and it would just be full of like Quality Street tins, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
With little
with
bits.
screws.
Yeah. But
And
not
bits
anymore
in.
because we sell storage containers. Did we sell storage containers then? Was it just that we didn't have as much money?
Yeah, interesting. My
Whereas
granddad
now you can
always,
just go to the shop and get a storage container.
and my granddad had like an old Holborn,
Yes.
Holborn, little those where you get the tobacco in pouches now.
Yeah.
They used to come in tins.
That's right. My
and
dad
there was
had those.
always little things in there, wasn't there?
Yeah, always.
Loved it.
Always. Now that
Loved
is
it.
really nostalgic.
Love. And smells. Do you find like smells take you back as well, Neens? It's like
Massively. When you said that conversation, I was thinking of the smell inside the tobacco tin.
yeah. My granddad's greenhouse. So I used to go in and I used to sit on a stall and he'd tell me everything that he was doing. And he'd always have butterscotch sweets in his pocket. And I go, Granddad, can I have a butterscotch sweet? Yeah, I don't have one of these. And
Isn't it funny that
and also the biscuit tin was always next to Granddad's chair. And it couldn't be moved anywhere else. It had to be next to Granddad's chair.
Isn't it funny, right, that as parents, they don't really want you to have sweets and everything, but when they become grandparents, they have this tin of dreams that they only let Freya in. My mum looks down on me if I go for the tin. Oh, but Freya, you're welcome to it anytime you want. What is that about?
They hate you and they love your daughter.
Yeah, I think you're right. I was just about to say that. Yeah, I actually think you are so right. What about films? Do films make you nostalgic?
Oh my God. Okay, what was your first film you saw at the cinema? Do you remember it?
Well, I used to go to Saturday morning pictures.
Yeah.
Oh, I got my boobs out. I used to go to Saturday morning pictures, right?
Is that with your porn star bra hanging out?
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I used to go there. And then I don't really remember much about that. A guy called Chico the Rainmaker who lived on a dump. That's all I remember.
Well, that was a film, or was that a friend of yours?
No, that was that was my best mate. Chico the Rainmaker. I'm going to actually Google that now because that's just come from nowhere.
Lived on a dump.
Anyway, so me and Chico would head off to Saturday morning pictures.
I'll go pick him up from the dump.
Chico was on Saturday morning pictures every single Saturday morning. I don't know really know. He lived it was like a head that lived in a box. In a dump. I'm actually looking this up.
You need to Google this.
All coming back, it's all coming back to me now. But the first proper film that I remember going to see and love to this day, and it stood the test of time, is Grease.
Me too. That was my first film I ever saw, Neens.
So you'd have been 10? Yeah. God, what an age to have seen that.
I was literally blown away. It was with my mum's friend, Glyn. I'll never forget Glyn, because mum was a single mum and Glyn was a single lady. She's just like my mum's best friend, and she was like my godmum, really. And she took me to the cinema to see Grease, and I was literally jaw dropped.
Chico, the boy with two heads.
Shitting hell, Names.
Where did that come from?
What year was that?
Film, though.
What year was that, Names?
Well, that must have been about 7.
Go back a bit. Go back.
Oh, see what you've missed out on, kids.
Chico, the boy with two heads.
Chico, the Rainmaker. Yeah, chill. A British film serial made by Eyeline Films. It was shown in 1974. Throughout the 70s and also 80s. So that is nuts. The boy with two heads. Hence a bot. Yes, sorry, that's all come back to me out of nowhere.
Okay, did he have a body for one head and not for the other? Or was he just two heads?
There's a head in a box. I don't really remember it that well, but God, I even remember the song now. Oh, hang on. Chico, Chico, the Rainmaker. Chico, Chico. That's weird, isn't it?
I've never heard of that, Neens.
Oh my gosh.
Neens, come on, get off that. You're digressing.
Sorry, that has massively freaked me out a little bit there. Yeah, sorry. So films, Grease. What a film.
What a film.
And I
Jaws.
think really, huh?
Jaws. When I saw Jaws, that was like.
Did you go to the cinema to see Jaws?
Yeah.
I don't remember going to the cinema to see Jaws. I think, to be fair, you remember when they used to bring the Corona bottles round and you'd give them back the bottles and you'd get 10p for every bottle you give back? Do you used to have that?
No. Yeah, how old were you then? What were you doing drinking at that age?
No, fizzy pop. You used to get a fizzy pop lorry that came round, Corona.
In the cinema?
Oh, no, I've changed now, sorry.
What are you doing now then?
I'm talking about the fizzy bottles because I was going to talk about the fizzy bottle because I was going to say to you, when the fizzy bottle lorry came round and you gave them 10p, sorry, you gave them the bottle, they gave you 10p back.
Yeah.
Shortly after, it was followed by the hooky VHS man with his pirate VHS, and then he'd come.
Was that where they had that? No, what was the one before VHS? There was VHS and there was one before that, before VHS.
Videos? What?
Yeah, it was called something that you had before VHS. I'm just going to Google that. Honestly, my dad.
Did you used to get an illegal video man that had come around with pirates and he used to rent them weekly?
No, that was probably you and Chico in the dump getting those.
No, honestly, Taj, did you used to have a video man that would come around your house once a week so you could rent videos off? There you go. Yeah, mainly pirated. What about the Corona van bottle? Yeah, bloody love the Corona van.
Do you think that was? Oh, I think I wet myself a bit then. Do you think that was in different areas though? Because you girls are from London. Betamax.
Yes, you're right.
It was the first format.
Something about Betamax.
It was the first format. We didn't have that. We waited to the VHS.
Yeah, I don't. Did you have Betamax? No, VHS.
Do you remember? I always remember, Mum, when you used to record programs, and then my mum used to write on it, "Do not record. This is Mum's."
Yeah. Do not tape over. Not watch.
Do not tape over.
Yeah. And then I realised with cassette tapes, right?
Top
we
40.
All recorded top 40. Absolutely. Never tried to get the DJ's voice in. Always tried to time it. Then he'd start talking. Stop, rewind, play. Stop, rewind, play, record, pause.
And then play that all week while you're getting ready to go to school in the morning.
But then I remembered, right? Or no, I didn't remember. I got shown that if you didn't want anyone to tape over it, you could take the plastic out the top of the cassette. And if you wanted to re-record over it, you could chew up toilet tissue with spit and stick it back in.
Chew up toilet tissue with spit. What about if you chewed it up and put some water in it or something?
Or just do it in your mouth. Just easier. Because you had to roll it up in a bowl.
How did you I never knew that. Neens, you are like, I wish I could get.
What about when you had phone locks on dialer phones? Do you have a phone lock on your phone?
Yep.
Because your mum didn't want you to put the bills up?
Dad,
okay. How did you get around making the calls with the phone lock on?
go out to the phone box.
Oh, Cas, honestly, have I taught you nothing?
No, you
Okay,
did. I
so
needed you as a friend when I was growing up.
yeah, so the old dial phone, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
what you used to do, so let's say your home number was 12345, right?
yeah,
You'd pick the receiver up, and then you had obviously where the receiver went down on the two dots, yeah, to
yeah,
hang it up.
yeah.
So
They
if your
took
number
it.
was one, you'd go one, one, two, 123, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it start ringing. So if it say your number was 422, 1, 2, 3, 4,
Yeah, okay, get that.
one. Okay, thanks. Yeah, I can't believe you didn't know that.
Shit, no, I knew that names.
Yep, yep, absolutely.
I would sit. So literally, we lived in a cul-de-sac, and there was a phone box just literally at the cul-de-sac, just up the road, like 3 minutes from my flat house. I would sit in there. I would even take cushions. Me
I
and my
bet people without a
mates
phone loved you.
would sit. Well, it would be me and my mates. A couple of us used to sit in there and just
And I
chat.
bet you didn't know that when you were in a phone box, you didn't have to put money in. You could use a lolly stick.
Oh,
Right. So you remember the old slots for the phone box where you used to have to push your 10p in?
yeah,
You just got a lolly stick, yeah? And
yeah.
just went like that, so it made it feel like money was going in. You didn't put the lolly stick in, you just used to have to, and it used to think that 10p or whatever it was, 2p was going in.
Means how the hell? Yeah, I think it's a London thing. I was in Sussex, wasn't I?
Oh, of course you were, darling, yes.
I mean, darling, we were given 2p to put in our fucking phone boxes. Actually,
Yeah.
I used to steal. My dad, I think most men still do it now, take their change out and put it on the side. And I just used to take all the money, all my dad's change, like 2p's and 10p's. And
Or we had one of those great big bottles that used to be, what is it when they're on a bar and they're upside down? Thank
oh,
you. Yeah, optic.
oh,
On the
yeah.
optic. One of the massive ones
Oh, yeah.
filled with 5p's. Yeah. So I'd dip into that and then go and get myself lots of packets of crisps in the morning.
Yes. And sweets. Fruit salad, half a penny. I mean, you can't even get half a penny now.
You know, it is, I mean, you think about it really. No wonder none of us ever had any colds, coughs, or anything, because literally you go to that penny mix, right? And you'd get, yeah, little crusty Chris that worked behind the counter, and you'd go, right, I'll have a white mice.
Love
Put
Crusty
your hands in,
Chris.
white mice. There you go. I'll have a blackjack, lovely. Fruit salad. Go on, throw in a flying saucer. And he had the dirtiest hands ever. He was contaminating all the other sweets. We never got anything like coughs and colds because
Never.
Crusty Chris had made our immune systems still.
And it's like going out in the morning. I remember in the holidays, you go out in the morning and you say, Mum, I'll be back for tea. Do you know the fucking Scooby Doo where I was? Well, she thought she knew where I was. Oh yeah, I'm just
No.
up the park with so. Okay, see, dinner's at 6. Okay, see you later. Bye.
Can you imagine if you were late? I mean, I can remember saying to my mum I was going to the park and then ended up meeting a friend, went to her house and just lost all track of time. And then my brother knocked on the door of this said friend. And like, you know, it's just someone that I'd met that I'd gone to school with, not like a close friend, just went to her house. And my brother went, you were in so much trouble. And I went, why? I went, the police are looking for you. That mum, yeah, they marched me straight down to the police station. And I got such a rollicking from the police officer and my dad. My dad went ape shit.
How old were you? 8,
Probably
25.
about 7. Yeah,
7.
I'm going to go 7, 8, something like that. Yeah, got an absolute rollicking.
Jeez. So I used to go out my bedroom window onto the garage roof and then drop down and then go up to my mates, which was up the road. But Mum always knew where I was, and she'd
Why didn't you
phone
just leave by the front door, babe?
because I was probably grounded most
Oh,
of the
okay.
time.
Right.
So, and then Mum would come up, see I wasn't there, and she literally phoned my mate Anne, who's my mate's mum, and it's Kaz. Yeah, she's here. Okay, thanks. Can you tell her to come home before her dad finds out?
Did you ever get smacked?
I don't think I did actually,
Oh,
Nese.
I did.
My mum used to threaten me with the bristle side of the clothes brush. She had an old-fashioned wooden clothes brush. She used to get me with her tea towel until I got too far, so she couldn't get me.
Oh, my dad used to do that as a joke all the time, whippers. But
Wow.
I had the slipper across my arse.
Really?
I stole a £1 note from a friend once. Do you know what I did? I don't know. There used to be these little Smartie jars, right? And they were like little toadstools at Easter. And then you'd empty all the Smarties, they'd become money boxes. And I went round to a friend, and it was a new friend, made a great impression. Stole a £1 note, put it in my knickers.
Oh, you wouldn't want that back.
I gave it to Krusty Chris at the counter, that then went on to use the pick and mix.
So basically, your fanny's been in the pick and mix.
I swear on my life, it was the same shop in Whitchurch in Harold Hill. I'm so sorry, everybody. But anyway, gave him the £1, bought loads of sweets, came up my road, scoffing loads, and my mum went, "Where'd you get the money for that?" And I went, Dad gave it to me. She went, "Oh, I'll check with your dad then." Check with my dad, obviously not. In the meantime, Kerry Ann's mum had been on to my mum via phone saying, "I'm not saying it is Nina, but Kerry Ann has checked her money and it's £1 down." So I had to come clean. I had to walk round and apologise and give a £1 note back. Oh, I'd learnt my lesson very early doors. Again, about 7. It was quite a rebellious age for me.
My mum did exactly the same to me. When I lived on a council estate, we had a Mace, M-A-C-E, little shop. Anyway, one day I went home with a Fry's Turkish Delight. I love Turkish Delight.
What's the things you choose?
I love it. And my mum goes, "Where'd you get that from?" I went, "Oh, I bought it up there." "Where'd you get the money from?" I said, "Oh, I had it, Mum. It was probably like 10p. "No, you didn't. You nicked it, didn't you?" "No, Mum, I didn't." "Yes, you did." So she walked me back to the shop, made me give it back, made me apologise. Didn't stop me nicking anything else as I got older, but
you know what?
anyway.
I swear to God, it did me. I never stole a thing since. Never.
Really? I've stolen shitloads.
No, because I think I was just so mortified.
Scared.
And actually, that person, I had to face her. And I remember she added me on Facebook in COVID. And I remember thinking, can't not accept it. But that still kind of haunted me. Really did.
£1. You stole from one of your friends.
That was a lot.
Tell Tash to check her handbag before she leaves your house today.
Don't worry, she's a kleptomaniac anyway. She's probably stolen it off me in the first place.
Actually, on that note of nicking, see this? I nicked that from my mate's house a couple of years ago, put it up my coat when I left her house.
Do you think she knew it was you?
I think she knew it was me when I sent her a picture of me. She didn't even notice. Under my puffer jacket, it was stuffed. I think I must have looked quite chunky then. She didn't even notice. I sent her a picture.
Yeah, I'd get away with that. I do think, however, I just want everybody to. Yeah. I'm going to blame at 7. I've realised it's been a bit of a counselling session for me.
Okay,
because I've obviously realised what a nightmare I was at 7, and it's all coming out now.
Yeah.
I think Chico the Rainmaker had a lot to do with it. Yeah. And I really want you all to Google Chico the Rainmaker.
I am going to seriously, after this, I actually want to watch it on YouTube, like a whole episode.
So seriously, I am going to
No, I am seriously going to watch Chico the Rainmaker.
Chico the Rainmaker, Chico. Yep, absolutely. Right.
On that note,
thank you for watching. As always, we are available on all good podcasts and, of course, on YouTube. Please subscribe just here. That would be amazing. And we'll see you next time on Laugh, Wind and Perspire, the Midlife Munters podcast. Thanks ever so much.